There's one body language signal that 99% people either ignore or misunderstand. But the moment you get it right, people listen, follow, and even admire you without you saying a word. Most never use this, but after today, you will. Have you ever walked into a room and it felt like no one even noticed you were there? Like you were invisible. People kept talking, laughing, moving around, and you just blended into the background. You weren't trying to hide, but it was like your presence didn't even register. You start wondering, is it my clothes, my face? Am I just not interesting enough? But the truth is, it's none of that. It's not about how you look, how loud you are, or how confident you pretend to be. There is something much deeper going on, a hidden body language signal, one that 99% of people completely ignore without even knowing it exists. But the crazy part, that one missing signal is exactly what tells others whether they should take you seriously or completely dismiss you. See, people don't listen to your words first. They listen to your presence, the silent signals you send the moment you walk in. And most people, they send the wrong signal without realizing. They look down when they walk. Their stance is weak. Their energy says, "Don't notice me," even when their mind is screaming, "Please see me." And because they miss this one critical signal, they get ignored, talked over, underestimated. It's like the world places them in a box labeled not important. But the worst part, they get used to it. They start believing that's just how things are, that some people are born with presence and others aren't. But that's a lie. Presence isn't a gift, it's a switch. And the moment you flip it, everything changes. People start treating you differently. They respect your words, even when you say less. They look at you when you walk into a room. They listen closer when you speak. And it all begins with mastering one overlooked signal, the one almost no one uses correctly. So if you've ever felt invisible or ignored or like no one sees your value, stay locked in, because once you understand this hidden body language trigger and how to use it with intention, you'll stop being treated like an option and start being seen as a leader, the kind of person who doesn't chase attention but attracts it. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to do it. Most people have no idea why they get ignored. They think it's just bad luck, or that maybe some people are just naturally more likable, more charismatic, more magnetic. But here's what no one tells you. When people ignore you, it's not always intentional. It's unconscious. We live in a world where people scan others in milliseconds. They're reading you even when you're not speaking. And the crazy part, you're sending signals all the time without knowing it. Signals that say, "I'm unsure of myself. I don't belong here. Please don't look at me." And guess what? People listen to those signals even more than your words. Think about it. Ever seen two people walk into a room? One just owns it without saying a word. The other seems to shrink into the background. They might be more talented, smarter, even kinder, but no one notices. Why? Because the second person never activated their non-verbal authority. Their body speaks fear. Their posture leaks doubt. Their presence says, "I don't matter here." And once people sense that, they respond accordingly. They ignore you, not because they hate you, but because you trained them to. Respect doesn't start with what you say. It starts way before that. It starts the moment you enter a room, the way you take space, the way your energy lands. And here's the real kicker. If you've never been taught how to send the right signals, you're probably sending the wrong ones by default. That's not your fault, but it's your responsibility now. Because once you realize how much of your daily life, your conversations, your relationships, your opportunities are being shaped by one silent body language cue that you're either using wrong or not using at all, you'll understand just how much power you've been giving away without knowing. And in a few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what that cue is. But first, there's something else you need to see. Think back to a time when you were talking and someone interrupted you mid-sentence. Not once, but over and over. You tried to make a point, tried to speak with clarity, but it felt like your words carried no weight. Maybe they nodded politely, maybe they fake smiled, but you could feel it. They weren't listening. They weren't respecting, and somewhere deep inside it hit you. They don't see me as someone important. You didn't say anything, of course. You just smiled, kept talking, tried to play it cool, and every time it happened, a small voice in your head whispered, "Maybe I'm just not someone people take seriously." What you didn't realize is that in those moments, you weren't just being ignored, you were being scanned. And what they saw wasn't your intelligence or your heart, it was the absence of authority in your body language, the absence of signal. They couldn't explain it, but their brain made a decision. This person isn't a leader. This person doesn't hold weight, and they moved on. Now think about how this plays out over time. In school, you get overlooked for leadership roles. In relationships, you feel like you're always the one giving more. In group conversations, your ideas somehow get forgotten until someone else repeats them louder. Slowly, you start believing it, not because it's true, but because it keeps happening. It's not happening because of your worth. It's happening because of one thing. You never activated the non-verbal authority cue that tells people, I matter, I belong, you will pay attention. And if no one ever taught you how to use that cue, you can spend your whole life getting treated like a side character. You ever notice how some people barely speak, yet somehow everyone listens when they do? They walk into a room and the energy shifts. People move slightly to give them space. Conversations slow down, heads turn, and unless you learn how to send that same exact signal, you'll keep walking into rooms and wondering why people treat you like a background character. The signal is subtle, but once you use it with intent, it changes everything. And now, it's time. You've waited long enough. The signal 99% of people ignore. The one that separates those who get overlooked from those who get followed. The signal is called the pause and scan. It's not in your face. It's not loud. But the moment you use it, people feel it. Most people walk into a room and immediately start moving fast, looking down, rushing to sit, or trying to fit in. That's low status behavior. That's what people with no power do. The moment you walk into a room or a group conversation, you stop for just 1.5 seconds. You don't speak. You don't move fast. You pause. You stand tall, chin level, shoulders back. Then you scan, slowly, eyes up, head slightly turning, like you're assessing the space. Leaders pause, leaders absorb, and when you pause, even just for a second, before speaking or moving, people sense a shift. They become alert. They become receptive. They don't even know why. It works in classrooms, meetings, social groups, even one-on-one. You walk in, and instead of immediately greeting or talking, you hold a slight pause, scan the room with composure, no darting eyes, just calm control. You just flip the psychological script without saying a single word. This is how powerful people operate, and now that you know it, you'll start to see it everywhere. And the best part, it's easy to practice. You can try it in your very next interaction, and watch how quickly people start reacting to you differently. By the way, I've got something very special for you. The Sigma's Black Book of Untouchable Power. It's an e-book that holds the forbidden knowledge used by high-level thinkers. But this will be deleted soon. The elites don't want this out, so check the description or pinned comment to grab it before it's gone. Now that's the body language signal 99% of people ignore. But once you start using it intentionally, everything changes. Now listen carefully. If you want to become powerful, then join Dark Mindset and control the game, or stay weak forever. The choice is yours.